Okay, so this video is going to be about how to attract a man or someone, doesn't have to be a man, could be any gender, but attract someone who is in their healthy masculine. So what does that mean, someone who's in their healthy masculine? It means someone who is very grounded, someone who's calm, someone who can weather the storms, someone who has purpose and direction, and someone who feels confident in themselves and shows up and they're embodied and they're okay with leading a situation. They're okay with making the plans. This is the person where, it's date night and on Friday they text you and they're like, hey, I have some exciting plans for us. Be ready at 7. I'll pick you up. Instead of being like, what do you want to do? You want to come over and watch Netflix? So this is like the best feeling is to be with someone who is in like their healthy version of their masculine and feminine. But the hard thing is if you want to attract the healthy feminine or the healthy masculine, you actually have to be in your healthy feminine or masculine. And that is really difficult. It's not easy because a lot of us have deep, deep wounds in this area. Speaking in terms of my own life, like I definitely had zero connection to my feminine, and I would consider myself to have been the wounded masculine. Like I was hyper controlling, super insecure. I wanted to control everything, but then I was like upset at everybody about it. I really pushed away any man that was in his healthy masculine, and I attracted men that were in their wounded feminine. So they just wanted me to take care of everything. I had to do all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the planning. If we went on a trip, I was doing all the planning. They were just kind of showing up, and it was not the relationship that I was looking for. Obviously, the common denominator there was me. I had to change myself, and this looked like healing a lot of really old wounds for me. My dad, he was an addict and he wasn't really present. I didn't have a good father figure. I lost my big brother in a car accident, so I had a lot of masculine wounds. I also had really bad experiences with men in dating, and even as a kid, I had bad experiences with men. So, like, I did not trust a masculine at all. Like I did not trust the masculine. I went on dates with people, and I'm straight, I'm bi, but like mostly at the time I was dating men. I went on dates with people and I was just like, I did not trust them at all. Like I always thought people were going to do something bad to me. Like I always had these little games I had to play to make sure that I didn't get hurt. And it wasn't until I kind of found out what the feminine was and tried to heal my feminine energy and internalize misogyny. I think I had a lot of internalized misogyny too. I thought being feminine was bad. I thought being feminine was weak. But I know now being feminine is actually very strong. And it is, I know that I'm like at my core a feminine person now because I feel so much more comfortable in that energy than the masculine energy. But at the time I had no idea. It was like a practice for me to become a healthy feminine person in my energetics and also call in the healthy masculine. I've been married now, well, we've been together for 5 years, I think, and he's, very much in his healthy masculine. I'm very much in my healthy feminine, still working on it. But like when I switch into my wounded masculine, everybody can tell in the family, and it's like it throws everything off. My husband doesn't know what to do, and then like the baby doesn't know what to do. So it's very much energetics, and it's so powerful when you learn to be in your healthy feminine. So this is video obviously for someone who wants to be in their healthy feminine. What this means, what the wounded feminine is essentially, is someone who, is very distrusting, very guarded, will play games, will manipulate. A lot of the stuff that I did when I was younger, like I was very much a wounded person. And that's okay. It's okay to be wounded. Like even when I meet someone who is still doing that, like it's fine. It's not because we're bad people. It's just because things have happened to us and we do not trust in the arena of love. And that's like, I don't want to say normal, but kind of is. Like it's very hard. A lot of us don't grow up with seeing good relationships. A lot of us grow up with like, infidelity around us and a lot of drama and divorce and this programming, like, oh, you can't trust women, or like men will just use you, or whatever. Like, I had a lot of programming around that stuff, so I had to really deprogram it. So essentially, this is what I did to get into my healthy feminine. First, I wanted to find people who were in their healthy feminine, who I could kind of watch and see how they acted and see how they operated in the world. One of these people for me was Marianne Williamson. She is just very much in her feminine, but also one of those people that's like a leader and creating change. And she's not like that. So I feel like sometimes, and I really hope no one takes offense to this, but I feel like sometimes in like Christian, I will say misunderstood Christian kind of language, the feminine is very like docile and submissive, but that's not necessarily the truth. The feminine is actually really, really, really strong and really powerful. We know this from Mary Magdalene, and how I'm like pointing over there because I have her book. Mary Magdalene was like seen as equal with Jesus, like they were a partnership, right? Before her, I don't know what it's called because I'm not religion, but before her writings and teachings were removed from the Bible. So that's when femininity was claimed as being bad. And this is because if you have people who are in their healthy masculine and in their healthy feminine, they're uncontrollable in the sense that they are not docile. You can't just make them buy things, or they're just really powerful. They're powerful people and they're sovereign. So I digress. The healthy feminine to me is a really powerful place to be. And for me, it just comes down to one thing, is having an open heart. Open heart, trust. This is like the massive healing energy right now that the earth needs. A lot of us are walking around with chips on our shoulders, not healing each other, canceling each other, you know what, policing each other. There's all this energy of like white supremacy and capitalism and patriarchy. And we need to really chill. We need to find more peace. We need to find more forgiveness. We need to find more open heartedness, playfulness, creativity, open mindedness, not feeling like we need to categorize everything and systemize everything. Being more creative. This is the energy that needs to come in with the feminine. I will say for me, the things that get me into my feminine the most are kind of ways of connecting into my body and embodying. So this could be like singing, dancing, cooking, baking, having a bath, like doing your skincare, like some way that you're like really playing and adorning yourself, and just, yeah, really getting into that playful heart open space. Sometimes I do tapping to like, you know, open everything up, just make sure that I'm trusting. I'll read things like A Course in Miracles. I'll read Marianne Williamson. I'll just make sure that I get back into like, I'm not guarded. And I think my go-to is to be guarded because I so have a hard time trusting the world. But when I have faith and I open up, I can be in my healthy feminine. And in that way, you're being a leader for other people in the world to be like, hey, look, we don't have to operate from old programming. We can actually operate from a new programming where we actually love and trust each other. And I see you as my brother or sister, and we are creating this new planet of love. And that's what that's how I see the feminine energy. I really see it as rising right now. I think a lot of women are realizing that old feminism was like just emulating men, and that's not exactly what I think we wanted. I think it was like a path that we needed to take, to show like, hey, we can do all this stuff too. But I think, you know, the new feminism is more like being in our feminine and acknowledging that, or masculine if you want to. Just anybody can be anything is essentially what feminism is. It's just freedom for everybody, and especially intersectional feminism. Just being like, hey, if you want to be at home and you want to have a fun day with like your kids, and you don't want to work and have this big career, you don't have to. You're super valuable doing what you're doing. That is a very valuable thing to do, and it really matters. You can change the world by making sure that you're taking care of your family. If you don't like being at home with your kids and you want to go have your career and you want to go change the world doing that, equally cool. Like, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't, being a woman or a man doesn't mean you're playing any sort of role. It's just the energetics of it. So you can be in your feminine and lead in business, or you can be in your feminine and be a stay-at-home mom. You can be you know, in your masculine and be saying, well, like, it doesn't matter. As you're noticing, like, the categories need to dissolve because those are old patriarchal capitalist things that we don't need anymore. It's just the energetics of it. There's a lot of women out there who are in their healthy feminine. They make lots more money than their partners who are men, and they both stay in their energetics. The man is still the masculine guy. They're still doing the traditional role thing, but she's maybe making more money. I don't know, whatever. There's just so many ways of doing it. But the thing to just really remember, the thing to really hang your hat on if you want to get into your healthy masculine is, or get into your healthy feminine, is that you want to have an open heart. You want to learn to trust. And by doing, to me, this was like doing a lot of breath work and making sure that I was healing old stories, catching old stories and healing them, letting them go, reprogramming my mind. The first step to this is just noticing. Like, when do I notice that I'm thinking that the world is bad, the world is out to get me, that I can't trust this guy, I have to play games with him, I can't text him back right away, or I can't tell him that I like him or else I lose, or whatever. Catch those things and be like, those things are stupid. I'm just coming in very clear and I'm gonna say, hey, thank you so much for taking me out. I really appreciated that. Such a beautiful night. I feel like we really connected and I really enjoyed my time with you and I would love to see you again. Like, just be clear. Like, it's amazing how you can really find true love if you just stop playing games and you just learn to be healthy and clear. And the best thing about that is you find out if someone else is in their healthy energetics as well very, 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 very quickly. Because if they're not, you will scare the frick out of them because they'll be like, what do you mean honesty? I was here to just like date and play games. No, 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 no. Like, I'm actually looking for a husband. I remember saying to my husband on our first date, I was like, I'm not here to sleep around. Like, I don't like sleeping around. I won't sleep with you on the first date. Um, I'm here for a husband. And he was kind of like, I love that. And I was like, okay, good. Because he was also looking for someone and he was very serious about it. And I wanted to be someone who was serious. And I'm not saying like, you have to marry me tonight or anything, but it's just like, I don't want to waste my time. And if this is not what you're looking for, if you're just looking to like sleep with someone and then like text back and forth for a little while and then have it peter out, I don't know. I'm very, 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 very good at touching myself. I don't need that. So, open heart, trust, heal your own wounds, catch yourself when you automatically go into a fear state in a situation. Like, obviously, we can practice all this stuff alone, but then when we get into a situation where we're like, put into a fear state, catch yourself, do some tapping, do some breath work, like get back into that loving, open space. Read A Course in Miracles because that will really help you be into that feminine, loving, open, trusting space. And like, show up like that. Be really bold. Say like, hey, I'm whatever, like whatever you're gonna say that is honest and bold. That is the best when people are honest and clear and bold, and you want to be with someone who's also honest and clear and bold. So embody that, and that person will show up and be magnetized to you. I hope this was helpful. I love feminine energy. It's something that has been exciting me for a really long time, and I love talking about it and I love being in it. And I think it's going to heal the world. Okay, love ya.